and next thing you know, there's a commotion outside. The Onyx is on fire. It's a battery fire. Hello YouTube. So in this video I'm going to be going over some questions I get on the Onyx, some from comments and just, you know, some from people out on the street. And I'm going to go ahead and touch on the basics in this one too, just to kind of get those out of the way. I know I've mentioned them in other videos, but just for convenience. All right, let's get into this. Okay, so we'll knock some of these basics out. You know, one of the number one questions is range, and real range for this bike, and that's normal riding, no pedaling. It's bad. It's 20 miles on this bike, and that's why you may want to opt for the larger battery when you purchase this bike. It's something to think about. Now, I will say that this battery is removable, so if you want to bring it in for charging, you could do that. Say your work's like 15 miles away, you could just bring the battery in and charge it, do it that way. Or if your work's close by, or wherever you're going is close by, 7 to 8 miles one way, you should be fine. Okay, and then the weight of this bike, it's about 150 pounds. It's not terribly heavy, not outrageous like the Enduro bike, but it's not too bad. It still makes it portable. And then charge time, about the same depending on how low the battery is. The norm's about 2 hours. If the battery's really low, then you're looking 3 hours. Okay, and then as far as speed goes, GPS verified 50 miles an hour on this bike on flat ground, so that's not too shabby. Okay, and there is one thing I want to clear up about these Shinko 241s. I got a question: can I use the 3-inch instead of these 2.75s? And you know, you can on the back. I don't think it'll be a problem. The front, you're going to have an issue getting through this fork brace. I mean, you might have to razor blade these knobbies off on the side, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't do it. I'd stick with the 275s. I mean, they work perfectly. I don't think you're going to be wanting for any more traction. And then if you go with the bigger tire, they tend to rob you a little bit of everything, really: torque, speed, and range. So I would just stick with these 2.75s. Okay, and then on these shocks, these are aftermarket shocks. I'll put a link in the description. I actually did a video on these, but to answer a question on as far as are they direct fit, direct bolt on, the shorter versions like these, they're about a ½ inch shorter, are direct bolt on. But for some reason, the ones that they sell that are the same length as the stock Onyx shocks, those you're going to have to change the bushing, but they do offer the bushing, so not really an issue. And like I said, I'll put links in the description for these. As far as how they work, they're not a home run. All right, they're a little bit better, I'll just put it that way. Okay, and then I get a lot of people asking me about reliability on this bike, and the last 2,000 miles we haven't really had any problems with it, and really haven't performed much maintenance either when you think about it. I changed the rear brake pads recently. I'm going to do an actually hydraulic brake upgrade on the rear on this thing pretty soon. I'll do a video on that one, let you know how that comes out. And yeah, so it's been a great bike. I mean, the only thing that happened was the power switch had a bit of a problem. We were able to just solder that back up. It's just a wire, you know, came off of the switch. And then I get a lot of people asking me, how is the Onyx off-road? You know, is it a good off-road bike? And almost missed that. And for stuff like this right here, trails and things like that, it's perfectly fine. I mean, it's actually fun. You want to go back exploring and things like that. But if you were to take it like hard off-road, like a motorcycle track or something like that, and you start jumping it, and then no, you know, it's just, what's going to happen is your front forks are going to just start bottoming out. The rear shocks are too stiff, so the rear wheel's just going to bounce on you. So yes, in a sense, you know, that has a yes and no answer to it. And another thing I want to mention is this bike, it comes with street tires or dirt tires, so you can choose, but I would just go with something like what we put on here, like the Shinko 241s, like a street and dirt tire, so that you can do exactly what I just did, just transition from the street straight to off-road. And then, you know, I have people ask me, is Onyx a good company in the sense of customer service and warranty? Do they stand behind their product? And let me get to the top of this hill. Another thing with this is it's kind of a torque. It doesn't have a whole lot of torque for this kind of thing. But they asked me, is Onyx a good company? Do they have good customer service? Do they stand behind their products? And I'm going to have to tell you a story to answer that one. All right, and it starts out with my son's friend. He wanted an Onyx really bad. I mean, you know, he used to come over and talk about it all the time, and got my son into it. And anyways, goes ahead and buys one, and it takes up most of his resources at the time. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of money, and let's face it, the Onyx it's expensive. It's an expensive e-bike. So he's actually using it as a tool. It's really his sole means of transportation, not just a toy. And he's using it to go back and forth to work. So anyway, one night, comes home from work. He plugs the Onyx in and goes inside, and next thing you know, there's a commotion outside. The Onyx is on fire. It's a battery fire, and you know, the fire department, the whole thing, it's a disaster. I mean, first of all, there's no insurance that's going to cover it. You know, he doesn't have any insurance, and really doesn't have the means to buy another one. And how's he going to get to work? So it's just a disaster all the way around. But he thinks about it, and he says, you know, I'm going to bring it down there to Onyx, let them take a look at it, see what they say. Maybe they can do something under warranty. And I'm thinking to myself, they're not going to cover it. You know, I didn't say anything, but I'm thinking, not because Onyx is a bad company or anything, or they have bad customer service, but because of the situation. These type of problems, you know, when they burn up like that, they pretty much take all the evidence with them. You don't really know what caused it. You don't know if the battery was messed with, the BMS was changed or removed, and it's a situation like that. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, all right, well, they don't cover it. Maybe we can rebuild it. Media blast the frame, have it repowder coated, get a new battery cover, get a new seat, and you know, maybe since all the wiring and everything's gone, get a kit like I have on my Enduro, but with 17-inch motorcycle wheels. So anyway, I'm thinking about that, thinking some way we can fix it. He goes ahead and brings it down to Onyx, and they say, well, you know, we'll look at it and get back to you. So about a week goes by, he doesn't hear anything. Another week goes by, he calls them. They say, "Oh no, we're still looking into it. We don't have an answer for you. We'll get back to you." So I think it was the third week that you know, he called them up, and they said, "Oh no, we're sorry. We can't cover this under warranty. It's not a warranty failure." And he goes, "Oh, all right." He goes, "Well, I'm going to come down and pick it up." And they tell him, "Oh, we're sorry. No, we threw the bike away. We threw it in the trash." And it was like they had thrown it away a while ago. It's gone. And I'm livid. I mean, not because they didn't cover it, because, you know, because who do you think you are that you can just take someone's property and throw it in the trash? I mean, who does that without so much as a phone call, without any kind of permission? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And, but you know, I kind of had to calm down. My son's friend, he's one of those guys that kind of just lets things roll off. I've seen him go through some pretty bad stuff, and just, you know, he just, I don't know how he does it. I wish I could have a little bit of that. But I just kind of calmed down, because it really wasn't my, you know, it's not my business. Of course, I'd help him if he asked, no problem. But anyway, so I guess about a month goes by or so, and he decides, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go in their main office and talk to him about it in person, just to see. And so he does that. He goes in there. So he's explaining it to one of the employees at Onyx. Now, somebody high up in the company, I have an idea who it is, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to name any names. Overheard the conversation, you know, looked into it a little bit, and Onyx, they gave him a brand new bike. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy, because, you know, that bothered me for the longest time, and I've been wanting to tell this story, but I haven't, because it didn't really have an outcome yet. And Yeah, but anyways, Onyx, you did the right thing, man. 5 stars, A+, whatever you want to say. But yeah, there are some small warranty issues out there, like I got a squeak and rattle and they couldn't fix it, or something stupid broke when, you know, I just got this bike brand new. You know, the little things, yeah, they are frustrating, but they came through, man. They came through on the big thing. So Onyx customer service, A+, man, A+. A lot of people asking me, you know, what about the price? Is Onyx a good deal? You know, what do you think about the money end of it? And you know, there's something that just comes to mind when I think about that. And I don't know why, but my brain goes to the fact that if you bought the Onyx with the optional battery, it's a full $700 more than say, for example, a brand new Kawasaki Ninja 400. And it just blows my mind that those two, you know, are the same price. Now, it's apples and oranges. I mean, that's mass manufacturing and worldwide sales and etc. But it's still the first thing that pops into my mind. And but coming back down to earth, comparing it to other e-bikes, it's okay. Like I've said in other videos, I wish they would have used some better components, not such low budget components, especially cable brake here in the back and stuff like that. But it's okay. Okay, we'll call that a wrap. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next video.